All right, welcome to Pool Boy Projects. I'm Shane, and today we're going to be working on my rat rod. Okay, so I need to get on some suspension. So I have suspension, but I don't have any shocks. I don't have any struts. All I have is airbags. So before we get started, let me talk to you about what's going on. So this thing is a little different from normal. It's about the first one I've ever seen with a Watts linkage on the front. I have my power steering box mounted to the suspension, and let's start with the parts and pieces. These arms that run from front all the way to the back are literally panhard bars off of a Ford Expedition. I have capped them in. On the top here, we have some, this for my 3-link, just so it's adjustable. Those are arms off the back of a Chrysler LeSabre. The 2 arms that connect the Watts linkage are off of a Geo Metro. This is one off of a Toyota front-wheel drive car from the back struts. I just lengthened it to fit here so that my steering box doesn't move back and forth. It does have a 32 Ford straight axle, and then the bar here for the steering is the bar out of a Ram Charger, the SUV style. Okay, then there are at least 3 different arms that go up to the steering that move in and out. So basically the reason why I decided to put the gearbox on the steering was for when the front end goes up and down 11 inches that there is no bump steer whatsoever. The only thing I have to do is make sure I have it at the right lift for my 7 to 10 degree on the axle. All right, so first off, I want to get these arms. I want arms to come up here, come to the cantilever suspension, and then I'll have an arm that comes up here, braced, and then they may come together here or full adjustability in here. All right, so I bought these guys at the junkyard. I like the style they had here. This is off a Honda CR-V of some sort. They had one that was adjustable. There was literally only one. Completely only one. And so I just went with these. So what the plan would be is to basically cut this tab off here because I don't need it. I like the idea behind this foot right here. And it needs to be longer, of course, but got an idea. It would go down there, bolt down there, underneath, somewhere in the center there, but it would be over the top here. It would come up here and be just in line with the brackets to start that. So I'm going to set this up and see if I can just tack some junk metal together and see if I can figure out where to start with this. now we know, well, we'll put Heim joints on here. So this is basically just a test to see what the pattern was. I'm going to need to get shocks as well. Need to make sure that when this cycles up and down, that I'm not going to bottom out on the shocks, and I'm not going to extend them too much. And I've got to make sure that even when this comes up and down, that it's not going to hit those shocks. So I have to do my calculations. I like this design here. There'll probably be 2 of them. And I want to make it so there's some bracing here and probably super low, like around here, because I want to try to be able to get the whole engine and transmission out at once if I have to do any work on them. I've just enjoyed it that way better. You have to go through the cab to get the engine bolts off anyway, so it's either pull the cab or take the whole thing. Alright, so got this kind of just basically an idea. So I've got these in here and I'll tighten them down to here, if I did it right, and I will snug them up nice and tight so that way it'll pivot on the bolts, and then this will still move for science purposes. Alright. Alright, so the more I look at this, it looks like I'm going to need to make this mount here solid. And this will have to be like a stand. So, more so like a welded box. And then here would be a heim, and here would be a heim. And that would make it so it can tilt in and out. Because right now it looks like this being fixed here is going to end up pulling this back and forth. So looks like I gotta get me some heims first and build a little stand for it. So I think this is truly where we call it until I can get some parts and pieces, and this will be part 1 of the cantilever suspension. This is what happens when you have a project. Good luck out there.